Hi everyone, I'm Michelle with Pasture and Porch Properties. On today's episode, I am here at LT Stables with the farm owner Kayla, and we're going to take you on a tour of the property and answer some of your questions to show you why LT should be amongst the top choices for you to consider on boarding your horse.
When your heart is racing at the speed of light, and you feel like you got nowhere else to go. No, I want you till the sun comes in the morning light. Yeah, I'll keep you safe, I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go.
So let's talk about the boarding options. What options do you have here for boarding?
We do primarily pasture board here. We offer pasture board for $325 a month, and included in that is twice daily feeding. I pick up the grain, the hay, and that is invoiced separately on top of board to the owners.
Okay.
This gives the owners the freedom to choose whatever grain, whatever hay that their horses need.
Okay.
We have a lot of horses out here that have had special dietary needs, horses with Cushing's, horses that can't sweat anymore, horses that are over the age of 30 and need options like soaked grain, special fatty supplements, or chopped hay, that sort of thing.
Okay, that's awesome. So that you give your boarders the option of feeding whatever they want, but they're just supplying it pretty much.
Exactly.
Okay. So you do have a couple of stalls in the barn. What do you use those for?
We use our stalls for our current boarders, and we also use the stalls for horses that come to us from the public that are needing a medical layup or possibly a rehab situation. We've had horses out here that have had partial hoof resections that needed kind of lengthy stall rest and progress from the stall to a small paddock to a small pasture and into recovery. We've had horses that we've recovered out here with suspensory ligament tears, and we've also had horses out here that have had Cushing's that has progressed to the point of anhidrosis, to the point where they need to be stalled during those hot summer days and put under the fan.
Yeah. And I noticed that we walked the pastures together. You talked to me about how many pastures do you have again?
We have six.
Six.
Yes.
And you do the rotational grazing. Yep,
exactly.
That's amazing. How many horses can you accommodate on the farm?
Currently, we have 6 horses on this side. We have 1 horse that's planned to come in from Florida next month.
Okay.
And that one will be at capacity for these pastures over here. It's really important to me that horses have proper amount of forage and that they have long stem forage too, not just that sugary nibble grass that they get. Also, that helps with things like sand colic. When pastures are overgrazed, they have a higher risk of colic eating, next to the dirt and that sort of thing. Parasites become an issue. So it's really important for me to have nice pastures that are appropriate forage for horses. And then great thing too is owners don't have to supplement with hay, except in the wintertime. We only feed hay 4 months out of the year, December through March. And I think that's a huge advantage for our barn as well.
Yep, absolutely. So with the turnouts, how does that working like with the herd you have now? Do you do mixed turnouts or?
Currently we have mixed turnout. What I do is with the current boarders, I do an assessment of which horses are compatible. We never allow horses to be bullied. We separate our horses during feeding time so that all the horses are able to eat their own grain, their own medication, their own supplements without having to be pressured by their peers or worry about injury. After the horses are done eating, then I turn them back out together. What I've done in the past is I've separated mares and geldings, but currently I have a really nice group of 3 mares and 1 gelding that get along super nicely.
That's awesome. Yeah. And now, as far as like future plans for the farm, we did talk about that as we were walking around. And I see that you're in the process of building your arena talk to us about your future plans for amenities here.
Absolutely. So our big ticket item here is the arena. We would like to add that to help encourage people who have horses that are in light to moderate work to come out here and board with us. Our arena will have a natural Western style footing, and it will be approximately 180 by 75 feet in size, complete with board fencing.
Okay. And you do have the riders that are out of this barn. You do have
Yes.
an eclectic mix.
We do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So talk to us about that.
So our barn is multidisciplinary. It doesn't matter if you pull out an English saddle, a Western saddle, or if you want to ride around bareback. Our barn culture is very relaxed. It's very accommodating, and people here just love to come out and just enjoy the peace and quiet with their horse.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any squabbles or issue or drama. We just enjoy hanging out here together. In fact, we all become sort of friends out here. We have time that we spend together at the barn and share our passion of horses together.
Absolutely. And where are they riding now?
Right now, they ride the trails down our 40-acre farm. So we have trails in the woods, about a mile of trails back that way. And they also ride on the adjacent farms around here.
Okay. Okay. And so you also have a round pen for work.
That's right.
Lunging work. Now, when we were touring the tack room, you were telling me in your feed area, you were telling me about the customized feeding plan that you have. So talk to us a little bit about that. You have a couple of seniors.
Yes, we have a couple of
Mhm,
seniors
mhm.
that have soaked grain,
Mhm.
and they get their soaked grain 3 times daily, so that way that they are able to get as much nutrition as they can, because most of them have poor dentition or have no teeth at all, and so that makes getting up the grass, of course, very difficult for
Sure.
them, or ingesting hay. So we do soaked pellets for them, or chopped hay, and that has helped them maintain as long as they're able to.
Yep. And you're feeding them multiple times a day.
Yes.
And then there's, I don't like to talk about pricing in the video too, because when somebody's reaching out to you, that is always subject to change.
Yes,
But with that said, is there extra fees for things like when the doctor comes, when the farrier comes, when the vet comes, when the farrier comes, blanketing, fly gear, like all that stuff?
Great question. So
yeah.
I believe in a no haggle price. Our board price includes all the care.
Okay.
So it includes the feeding, the blanketing, fly mask, fly spray, fly boots, mask, you name it, we do it for your horse. If your horse gets a small injury in the pasture, whatnot, they accidentally step on their own hoof, we take care of that wound care. There's no additional cost to that.
Okay. And then when the farrier comes, do you hold everybody's horse, or do they have to make time to be here? And
So we have a barn farrier, and if you're on the barn farrier schedule, then I hold your horse for you, as included in your boarding price.
Perfect.
Same thing with our vet. We have a barn vet that's Neuse River Equine, and if you're on the schedule with Neuse River Equine, I hold your horse for you. It's included in your board. We also have an open vet and farrier policy, so if you want to bring your own farrier and your own vet, you're welcome to do so, but I do ask that you hold your horse for those separate appointments.
Okay, perfect. And then when the arena is done and ready, will you allow boarders to bring outside trainers in?
If the outside trainers have insurance, yes, we will welcome outside trainers.
Do you do training?
Yes.
Okay, talk to me a little bit about that.
So I do training board, and then with that training board, I do include hay. I do work with horses that might need a tune-up, a refresher, maybe some problems like rearing, loading, or bucking at the canter, not picking up the correct lead. Just a little simple fixes like that.
Okay, awesome. Okay, well, let's talk about who takes care of the farm and the horses.
That's me.
That's
I
you.
work here full time. I am the person who takes care of your horses every day. I'm the person who handles them, touches them, grooms them, feeds them. I'm the person that notices if they're slow to walk up from the field and look a little lame, or if they don't finish their dinner. And I make sure I communicate any issues that I see to the owners right away.
Okay, and then tell us a little bit about your background.
So my background is primarily Western trail riding, and I currently do fox hunting, and I also do some endurance racing. Yes.
And then you were telling me that you were a nurse in your former life.
That's right.
So how do you feel that helps you, like, in taking care of the animals?
I absolutely attribute all of my knowledge and being able to care for the horses, wound care, medical care to nursing, because with my medical knowledge as a nurse, I'm able to segue that into animal care, equine care. Even though there are some differences between humans and horses, of course.
Yeah.
It definitely helps to have a background in medicine, because I'm able to kind of notice those subtle differences. If they're looking a little colicky, if they're maybe getting a little choked and I need to soak their feed, and I notice things like their hair is curly, they're not shedding out, that sort of thing. I notice those things, and I can kind of help coordinate with the owners and the veterinarians to make sure the horses receive the best care possible.
Awesome. And what is your protocol in case of like emergency or injury, either to rider or horse?
What we do, if there is an injury to a rider, first call would be to 911. We want to get those people some help if they need it. If there's a problem with the horse, first call is to the owner. If the owner doesn't pick up right away, next call is to the veterinarian. And we have it in our contract that if the horse needs emergency medical attention, that I'm able to provide that for them in the event that the owner is not available and their emergency contact listed in our boarding contract is also not available. I have the ability to treat that animal and take care of them to the best of my ability.
All right. And then you mentioned you have a new horse coming soon, right?
Yes, May the 1st. Yep.
Talk to us about your quarantine process. You have a lot of pastures here, so I'm assuming.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. So we do have a quarantine pasture. We do quarantine for 14 days up to 30.
Okay.
Just to make sure that the horse is free of any, communicable disease or injury or illnesses that maybe weren't suspected right away. Also, moving to a new barn is stressful. So sometimes that stress can kind of bring on different things that might have been, incubating in the horse that maybe we might not have noticed before.
Absolutely. You did talk a little bit about the atmosphere and culture here already. The rider that you feel best fits your barn. Talk to me about that person.
The rider that I feel best fits our barn is probably your adult amateur. Someone who comes to the barn and just wants to enjoy the peace and quiet with their horse. This barn is not a show barn. It's not. The horses here aren't ridden 5 days a week. They're not pushed to their max. The horses here, we started out with retirement board, moved to semi-retirement, started introducing horses in light work. So that's kind of been the progression of our business here on the farm.
Okay. And how long have you guys been here?
We have started this barn in 2020. So we've been boarding horses for 6 years.
Okay.
Yes.
And you own the farm?
Yes.
That is so important.
Yes.
I was in the position before I purchased my own farm and have my horses at home now, where I had to search for boarding because the place I was boarding was leasing.
Yes.
And they were told, hey, we're selling the property. You got to get out. And they owned, and it was here in Zebulon, and they owned multiple farms. And there was probably 3 barns that were looking for all these boarders, looking for a place. So there's nothing more stressful than trying to find a home for your horse.
Yeah,
and I don't remember LT here
Yeah.
when I was going through that. That was so stressful and so scary. So it's really awesome when the person that you're boarding with owns the farm, because then you have complete control of your property and your land. Okay. All right, so I just want to close things up by tell me, what do you believe sets your facility apart from other facilities in the area, especially when it comes to care?
It's definitely the care that sets us apart. We're the folks that notice when your horse doesn't finish dinner, when they turn up a little bit lame, when they're looking like they might be in a little bit of pain, like their nares are pinched and their eyes are sad, that sort of thing. So we notice those things and we communicate them, and we have the means to offer the horses things like pain medication or Epsom salt salve or that sort of thing to kind of help soothe and help them.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. LT sounds like an amazing place to bring your horse. Again, not sure when you're going to be viewing this video, so reach out to Kayla directly to discuss availability and pricing. Kayla, how can they call you?
They can call me directly to my phone number, which is area code 540-420-4045, or email me at ltstablesnc@gmail.com.
Okay, and as always, I am here for all of your real estate needs, big or small, and you can reach out to me at 919-219-1295 or email Michelle@pastureandporch.com. Until next time, saddle up and enjoy the ride.